Hello, kiddos. Welcome back to part 2 of shapes. We're going to put what we learned about shapes to use in the next part of our lesson. I got it cut off last time. I'm going to try to move quickly, so please keep up. All right, boys and girls, what we're going to do is review. Remember, when we're looking at shapes, we want to talk about how many sides, how many corners or angles or vertices does the shape have. We're looking at its attributes. All right, let's quickly fill out this chart and talk about these shapes. Well, if you look at this first shape, it doesn't have any corners or angles. It doesn't have any straight sides. They're curved. That is you got it, circle. Moving on to our second shape, if you look here, this shape has 3 straight sides, and it also has 3 corners, or remember, we can call these vertices, and that is a triangle. Remember, we talked about that tri means 3, so a triangle is a shape with 3 sides and 3 angles. Now, this shape has a lot more sides. It has 6 straight sides. Okay, you can count them. It also has 6 corners, vertices, or angles. Okay, and we call that a hexagon. Okay, moving on down. Let me move this out of the way here. We have a shape that has 4 corners or angles, and those are those special angles. Remember, because they form that L shape, that square corner. And we also have 4 straight sides. We think of this shape, and they're all equal, as a square. But there are also 2 other special names for this shape. This shape is also considered a rectangle because it has 4 sides, and it has 4 of those square corners. And it's also considered a rhombus because it has 4 sides once again, but those sides are equal. They're the same length. All right, let's move on and see what you remember. Look at number 5. It says, which attributes or characteristics are the same for all of these shapes in group A? If you look at these shapes, what are some things that you notice are the same? I'm going to give you just a minute here while I switch tools. Okay, I hope you've looked those over. I have to move pretty quickly on these. Well, I hope that you notice that they all have 4 sides. Did you notice that all these shapes have 4 straight sides? And they all have 4 vertices, see, or angles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And guess what? Yes, those angles are the special square corners because they form that L shape. All right? That's what attributes are the similar or the same. Let's move on down here, and we've got another question I want you to consider. It says circle the shape that best fits with group A. So if we're looking at these shapes, which would best go with this group at the top? All right. Well, I definitely know it's not the circle. It doesn't have any straight sides or vertices. And it's definitely not the triangle because it has 3 sides. Also, now the shapes that are left do all have 4 sides. But remember, those shapes had up here had a special kind of angle. Do you remember it was called a 90-degree angle or a square corner? Only one of these shapes has that, and it's this rectangle right here. So this shape best goes with group A. Now, yes, these 2 shapes do have 4 sides. This rhombus has 4 sides, and this trapezoid has 4 sides, but it doesn't have those square angles like the shapes we see above. Okay, let's move on. Right here, a rectangle is a closed shape with 4 straight sides and 4 square corners. Which one doesn't belong? It says cross out the shape that's not a rectangle. Well, I can tell right now this shape is not a rectangle. Do you see why? It isn't closed. Do you see that gap? That's how we can explain our thinking. That can't be a rectangle. A rectangle has to be a closed shape. Let's look at another shape here at the bottom. Remember, a rhombus is a closed shape with 4 straight sides, but they have to be of the same length or equal length. Do you see the shape that is not a rhombus? Remember, these all have 4 sides, but a rhombus has sides that are of equal length. Guess what? This shape doesn't belong. Why? Let's explain our thinking. Well, if we look at these sides, are those sides the equal length of equal length? No, they're not. Boys and girls, I hope that you were able to review a little bit about of shapes with me this evening, and I can't wait to see you again. I hope you'll hop on and take a quick review of shapes. Have a great evening. See you later.